Good morning. So this is Talent Talk. My name is Jurgen, and it is Monday, November 2nd, the beginning of a brand new month. We've got a special guest with us today, but before we get to that, let's introduce our co-host. What is that? Co-host, I think. So our first co-host, it is the lady with the most. She's not a ghost. She is Davina Clarity.
Maybe this weekend I was a ghost. Woo, woo, woo. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Boo, boo, boo.
Boo, boo, boo.
All right. And then bringing it in on the end, your boy, Steve Chung.
Woo! Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
What's up? I'm back in the middle again. I'm feeling like I got my place.
I think it's all in how we do the introductions.
Yeah.
So, well, today we're going to be talking about, we're going to have, it's talent talk, but it's going to be like an addition to title talk, right?
Absolutely. What we got going on today, Mr. Steve Chung?
Today we are talking about title insurance, everything title insurance, and we've got one of the foremost experts here in our area bringing us some info and some knowledge on how title insurance works and all that good stuff.
Yeah. But, a question for you, just before we get into that. So we've been dealing with this. I mean, the whole thing with Talent Talk, we began this whole thing really as a way to stay connected during COVID. We didn't know what was going to happen when we first began, so we wanted to do something to help keep everybody informed with what was going on, and also just keep a good close connection together. With that, it's been a lot of fun to do, but we've seen a lot of things change during this time. Like, we've done things differently, not to be excluded out of there. Halloween was a little bit different. We had a lot of fun because we did a little slightly haunted garage, and we had fun, got some things from Spirit, a bunch of animatronics, and it was simple. But I'm curious, what about for you guys? I mean, was Halloween different, or did you notice a difference from the number of trick-or-treaters? Like, what was it for you guys?
Totally. Go ahead.
We went driving around the neighborhoods, and we really didn't see like anyone out. The lights weren't turned on. The lights were on to go get your candy. It was just different.
Yeah.
We actually had our lights on. My daughter was handing out candy, but it was a lot slower than previous years. And I have her whispering in my ear. What are you saying? You did what? She went she said she went trick or treating. She wanted me to tell you that she went trick or treating. So she went trick or treating. Yeah. She got, we didn't prepare. So she wore one of my old Winnie the Pooh costumes and went out trick or treating. So,
she went in through the garage. I think it was okay. I think she didn't get scared.
No, I heard you had quite the setup though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was like a dungeon. I saw the video. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I see Christina in the backside of keeping us all in line had 0 trick-or-treaters. I know it was significantly lower. Also, I guess a lot of people did something kind of cool that I didn't. I might have thought about if we want. Well, we were doing the slightly haunted, and we're keeping everybody where they went in one side, came out the other, and could maintain a level of social distancing. So we think we did it relatively safe. But a lot of people were like running like PVC pipe or other things down from a window, so they could do it more or less contactless. I thought they should have had like an air gun so they could hold their. But that's just me.
Well, I'm watering all over the place, you guys. I'm so sorry. My eye's burning, and just got like something in my eye, and it's just making me water. So just excuse my.
I thought it was just you. You were so happy to see us this morning. You're not just so happy to see us this morning. That you're like, so oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we actually have a guest coming, and we actually have a trivia question, and I just want to get her on here because she is such the sunshine, and totally. But we have a trivia question first. So what is that question?
So trivia question leading into our guest, Dave, is what agency regulates the title insurance industry? So first answer, A, is it the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation? Is it B, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? Is it C, the Office of the Insurance Commissioner? Or is it D, the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act? So drop your answer in the comment section, and we'll actually have our guest give us the answer at the end of the broadcast.
I just want to know how that act is, how that act is just personified itself to manage something. But
hey, you know.
Well, without any further ado, David, who do we have with us today?
Yes, so it is a privilege. So as Steve had mentioned before, you know, we have our diva queen of title insurance that's coming on. She actually has been in the business for a very long time, so nearly 20 years in the title industry. But even before that, she understands what we do because she actually was licensed as a real estate agent back in the 80s and 90s. So we're talking about a wealth of information and history. She also likes to, enjoys the sunshine. Hello. And she also loves wine and golf. Or likes to whine while she golfs. I don't know. Anyway, she is wonderful and amazing. And if you know her, we know her well. And we got to give a big ooh up for the business development manager with WFG, Cyndee Shingledecker.
Welcome, Cyndee.
Unmute.
Oh. I think you're muted, Cyndee.
I am not.
Oh, okay.
I do whine a lot when I golf, I have to tell you.
You know,
hello, everybody.
Right?
I'm so happy, so excited to be here. Thank you very much.
We are super glad to have you. And of course, yes, when you walk in any room, you can have your back turned, but Cyndee lets you know when she's here by the big ooh, ooh. So I sound like an old crow, but you know, you do it well.
Well, as you can tell by the intro, I'm pretty much a dinosaur. I learned that back in the disco days.
Hey, it's still relevant. Super. So, thanks for joining us. And we just have a lot of questions in regards to title insurance and title. But let's just start with, what types of services does a title company provide to consumers?
Well, we do wear a few hats under our roof. I kind of describe it as it's two businesses. We have the escrow side, which is the paperwork that keeps everybody legal and gets everything recorded and taken care of. And then there's the title side that does all the research on the property to make sure you know what you're buying. They check for encumbrances, for liens, all sorts of things. And it's your insurance policy that you're buying exactly what you want, that there isn't something lurking out there behind there. And if something does show up, then we're going to be your insurance company and take care of it for you.
Okay.
We also have customer service, which is your pre-work that you do before you have the transaction going. So they'll vet out farms for you, or they'll send you preliminary information, or they'll find that deed. And lots of times, more times than not, they'll have those CC&Rs that are so crucial when you're putting the plan together.
Okay. You know, talking about title insurance and kind of explaining what you guys do, you know, what are the different types of title insurance, and how would one know which ones to choose?
Well, basically we have there's your standard homeowner's policy, and then there's an extended policy as well. And for the everyday transaction, the homeowner's policy is what you need. But if there's going to be some extenuating circumstances, something out of the ordinary, maybe it was a property that has been something else before, or there's different lands involved, or in Thurston County, you know, there's lots of things about preserving the wildlife. And so you'd want that extended policy, but your everyday go-to would be the homeowner's policy.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, Cyndee, you're like family to us. We love you so much. And when it comes to title insurance, like, I don't think it's something that a lot of people necessarily understand what it is. So it's great to see some of the policies, everything else. But just before we get a little deeper, can you stop and really say what title policy is just a little bit more, and why it's that important in a transaction? Because honestly, when we're writing up a purchase and sale agreement, when we're doing negotiations, this is one of the very last things we would ever give any thought to in the process, right?
Right. Well, title insurance, like I said, is the research on the property so that everybody knows what they're buying. Do you know that title insurance is not actually the law? If you feel comfortable buying your dad's place or something, and it's not the law that you have it, but it is the law with the lender that you have it. So there's a lender's policy, there's a homeowner's policy, there's a lot of things involved there. I have a friend that did buy her dad's house. That's why I use that example. And she was getting into it, and he said, "You don't need title insurance." She's like, "No, I'm in the business, Dad. I'm going to get it." And guess what? There was an old many-year lien, like from a sewer project, on the property. She wouldn't have known that unless she pulled the title.
Wow.
So that's the importance of it.
I'm a believer now.
Yeah. Right. So, understanding title insurance actually is a protection of that new property owner, and which is really important. You also mentioned a little bit earlier that there's some pre-work, and we know there's a term called preliminary title, right? So there's a title commitment, and then we have what we call a preliminary title commitment. So all for our agents out there and for our consumers that, might hear that prelim title, like what is that?
Well, the preliminary title is the work that they do preliminary while the transaction is going on. That's why we recommend that as soon as you're getting the listing, get that started, because there's a lot of research that has to be done with that. So that is a whole background search. And then when you are done, then they actually give a policy. You actually get an insurance policy. That's your final product. That's where everything, all I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and it's a very plain language of what our insurance is going to cover for you. But because of the way the market is over these last several years, they started giving the preliminary so that everybody would feel comfortable with what they're doing.
Nice.
Plain language sounds around in the business for a long time, and I'm sure you've seen a lot. Maybe share with us an example or two of maybe how title insurance can provide protection to the homeowner.
Well, I'll just tell you my favorite story.
Okay.
Back when I first got in the business, there was a young couple that bought their house with the dream that in 5 years they would put a swimming pool in, and we insured it. And the 5 years came, and they were ready to put their swimming pool in, and they found an old buried septic system, which those were all recorded back in the day, and they still are, I believe. There's new systems that are a little bit different, but guess who put the pool in? The title company did. We cleaned out the thing, we put the pool in, and that was our insurance policy in work right there.
Wow.
Yep.
So can I call the title company and have them install my pool?
Well, only if you find something that we did not insure.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah, we missed something. See, the way that the search is that we go to all the records of the courts in the county, and some of these properties, especially where I live, are very, very old. So these things go way, way back. And if we miss one recorded deed and it comes to it becomes a problem later, we're on the hook for that. And that's why it's called insurance. So we do make good.
That's good. A lot of insurances feel like it's a struggle and a fight to actually get what you paid for. That, I mean, you hope you never have to use it, but when you do, thank goodness it's there. You know, with earlier we referenced like Halloween, and we referenced how different things have occurred with COVID. We do a market update on Fridays, and we've been watching the market. The market is really different this year than any other year, based on the way COVID has impacted, and it's actually been busier in many ways, to many people's surprise. With title, how have you guys adjusted, or have you found you've had to do adjustments to accommodate COVID-19?
Oh, it's been a little bit crazy, I have to tell you. One of the biggest things is the market didn't stop. The people stopped, and they built home offices or moved into home offices. But then when they realized they could work in a home office, then they started buying other properties. Actually, I just talked to a neighbor of mine that moved to 150 acres in Arizona, and they work from there. So we had to make a lot of adjustments, especially when it came to the notaries. Notaries are very hard because that's personal contact. So we became very creative. We did drive-up notaries, 2 cars side by side, handing papers through the windows, IDs on the windows of their homes while the notary watched through the window while they were signing. The thing about the COVID, we only had one little tiny hiccup, and business just kept going. Plus, there's a refi boom going on. The interest rates are so low. So we all had to scramble and manage how we were going to do it. And so every day was a new, exciting day.
Even more than normal.
Yeah.
No.
So
just change with the times.
Right. So as far as business goes, it didn't impact so much, except because we are like you and our company, that all our meetings were already online. We already know how to work remotely. And so it wasn't a huge change for us, except for the loneliness.
It's always there just a little bit.
First, I thought you said the loneliness. Loneliness, hey.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It tugged at my heartstring when I heard the loneliness is always there. I'm like, oh my gosh. Davina already had tears in her eyes earlier. So.
I know, right? They were preliminary tears.
Oh,
Can I get a prelim tear on that?
Oh my gosh. With, so is it my turn? Is it my turn? Okay. All right. So, we really, really appreciate the services that Cyndee has provided us. And there's a ton of title insurance providers they're out there to choose from. And so with the choices that are there, Cyndee, if you could just explain or just give us a little nugget on what really should be considered when selecting a title insurance company.
Well, we all do pretty much the same thing. We all use the same county records, or if we have something out of county, we have a title plant in Thurston County, we have a title plant in Pierce County and King and Snow. But let's say we want to go down very south, and we have to trust what they're going to do as well. But the actual, sorry, I froze for a second. So the actual advice would be to just make sure that you start early, and that we are prepared to help you. We have our My Home dashboard that keeps all the consumers in the know in real time, like the Amazon experience. We provide different ways to communicate. We have the apps. We have all these things in place, like we were always expecting COVID. And I think that every title company does the same thing, but some are directed in different directions, as you guys are familiar with all of our social media and our classes and things like that. So that would probably make us different.
Okay, good. That's awesome. No, I know, because I know that you guys provide a lot of services to a lot of the brokers, which is great. And if you're a real estate broker and they wanted to get a hold of you and learn more about some of the stuff, how would they get the information from you? What's the best way to contact you, Cyndee?
Well, I have email, phone number, but I also have my concierge app that you can just 9 easy buttons. You can touch a button and say, call me, and I'll call them. And I'm very easy to get a hold of, and I'm always ready to roll. So anywhere you want to do it, I'll be there for you.
Okay.
Yes. And Cyndee, I'm always ready for a roll. So, you know.
Right.
Hey, you know, one of the things, and Davina touched on it, and Steve touched on it just a little bit. I think about real estate, and what we do as real estate agents, and part of what we do with Talent Talk is it's so much about relationships and being of service to people. So similarly, like with real estate, you can get basic services of real estate from a lot of different places, but people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. So that's what we try to do. We try to demonstrate that, and we try to keep our relationships strong, because ultimately we want people to understand how we actually care about them, and we really keep their interests up at the front. Similarly, we have our relationships with different affiliates. So, you know, whether it's title escrow, lenders, other people, that we have a fairly tight team to be able to help our clients get the best service available. Mm-hmm. So Steve started to touch on that with what you do beyond just the real estate part. You mentioned classes, other things. Are there other things that you're able to do to really help, or can you go just a little deeper into how you actually serve the real estate community beyond just providing title services?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we just mentioned COVID, and it has changed the way that we do business. And I'm on Zoom now. I can't tell you how many times a day, helping people decide what they want to do with their career. You know, that's like a place to start. What will your target be? Where do you want to go? We discuss it. I tell them the pros and the cons and the things that I've learned over all these years of how you want to run your business. So we basically start there. And then I have the products, like I said, you know, we have the online classes that help move business forward, and the Google My Business, and it's way beyond that now. And my very favorite way to mentor or help somebody, and I stay with them for life, is to have a good one-on-one, hour-long sit down. Let me know who you are and how you want to take your business. And then I'm going to step in and say, well, here's a few solutions that I've come up with, and we can move forward. And then follow up and stay with them. And the tools that we provide make it so easy.
Yeah. You know, I'll say this, and Cyndee, you're not the only one out there, but one of the things I think we've really valued with you is your ability, because as a title rep, maybe you're not down in the title or even on the escrow side, the other things, but when we have questions or we need assistance on getting things through, I think that's really where the relationship comes in, that we can reach out to you and you really can help move things along. Or if there's a disconnection, get the connection back, because ultimately it's not a matter of things disconnect, because this is life. Things get disconnected on occasion, but having the ability to get them back together really quickly you've always done a really good job about that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, in my office or in my company, we're set up in offices, and I have Randy, my title guy, on the other side of the wall. And I have my escrow teams, although a lot of working from home right now, but we're very tight. It's like we're a family. And if something's up, I can just run into Randy's office and say, hey, Randy, what's this on this title report, Or same with Tiffany, we work that way in this whole company.
Yeah, communication super duper important. And then you had mentioned about Google My Business and some of the other resources. And we actually had Wendy Lunt from West on Talent Talk. It seems like years ago almost, but months ago we had Wendy on. Remember that talking? Yeah.
So it was years ago in COVID time.
I know, right? She was in her cabin and working remotely, and she had a really great nugget to share with us too. So, and that is the same, within the same umbrella of relationships that Cyndee shares too. So there's a lot available, and it's good to have resources. We don't need to know everything. We just need to know who we need to refer someone to get that information. So
exactly. Yep. That's the whole key, is you can rest easy if I'm working with you, or somebody's working with you, hopefully me. But because I do know how to get it done. I just need to know where you want to go with it, and I get her done. I have the team.
Get her done.
Let's get her done. Where did that come from? Oh yeah, I know. Let's pop that information back up. Just if anyone has any questions that they wanted to ask, they can get a hold of Cyndee via email, or she has an app, or you can give her a call, text. She's really good at responding texts. And
Cyndee, there's one thing I'd be remiss, or we'd be remiss. I'm sorry, say it like that, but. You know what? In addition to doing what you do, and I know this is kind of a surprise little thing here, but in addition to what you do with Title, you're really strong about empowerment, self-empowerment, and you do a lot of things on the side to help more predominantly women really get engagement, to really work on themselves. Is it okay to ask you just a little about that as we close out here?
Certainly. It's my passion.
Yeah. What is it that you do there?
Well, I have a motivational company called Living Dolls Inc. I don't really work it as much as I used to right now. It's kind of in a process of growing. But in 2008, I did take a year off from this, and I traveled nationally as a motivational coach and speaker, especially for title companies. And I empowered women and men, but mostly it was written for women back then that were struggling. So it's my passion. For years and years, I've written and designed and met and champion people in business, and have the YouTube channels and my podcasts, and so
it's who you are.
Yeah, it's just what I really like to do.
Nice.
I think that shows through, and that's what makes you great at what you do, is the person you are, coupled with the service that you offer, and just being there and the resource, your knowledge base, and that's why people come to you, Cyndee.
Yeah, so even up to your engagement in like the Women's Council of Realtors, you don't just sit at a desk waiting for the phone to ring. You are an example of just constantly being in a relationship and constantly growing. So, and kudos to you.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't take this. Well, you give it out. You give it out, and you're like sunshine. And so just reflecting it back on you, girl.
I know. Yeah. I love the John L. Scott family so much. And I've gone from the beginning, and then just to watch you guys grow, and all the people, and Any changes, I'm always so upset. And
we're always so excited. I mean, our changes, we love our changes.
Yeah, I know, but I hated COVID.
Oh yeah. Well, I certainly didn't in 2019 pray for it.
It's like a plant or a sunflower, and the sun went away, and you just start shriveling up. Please let me have some people energy around me.
Yeah. It had to, definitely a struggle this year to maintain that. But you know what? I think what has really come out within COVID is the ability for this industry to still thrive and change in spite of the things that have come as that we could see as obstacles that we've been able to easily overcome in many instances. So it is a testimony of strength and passion in our industry. So, and as a team, we get to share all that with everyone, and you as well, because you're part of that as well, being a vendor and an affiliate and a support.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Trivia. What's the trivia question again? We're going to, just a reminder.
So, what agency regulates the title insurance industry? We had 4 choices to choose from: the FDIC, the CFPB, the OIC, and the RESPA. I don't feel like saying RESPA.
Option C actually sounds like a declaration, Oh, I see.
I thought you were going Aretha on me, Steve.
I almost I felt it coming out. It started.
You're about to belt it.
So, who's giving us the answers for today's trivia question? Cyndee, do you want to bring us the answer? Do you know the answer?
Yes, I do.
Where's Christy?
Hey guys, no, I'm just waiting in the background. I thought we said Cyndee was gonna do it, so I was like, I get to take a break today. But Cyndee, if you want to take it on, I will not say no. Yeah. All right. So today's trivia question is, what? Oh, you guys are making me work today. What agency regulates the title insurance industry? Is it A, the FDIC, B, the CFPB, C, the OIC, or D, the RESPA? And then the answer is C, the OIC, so the Office of the Insurance Commissioner. Is that correct?
Now you know.
That's correct.
We always have our guests verify if we're right or not.
That's correct, Christy. Good job.
It's funny about title insurance because everybody wants to say we're connected with RESPA or somebody like that because it's such an intricate part of what's happening in the real estate world. But actually, we're an insurance company. So they're like, oh, that's right, it's insurance. So RESPA is only after the lenders.
And now you know.
When we end, we can actually just end with these initials from now on, like FDIC, CFPB, OIC, RESPA.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Stop crying.
I know. I have to stop crying.
All right.
All right.
Well, Cyndee, thank you so much. You're more than welcome to hang out if you want to. We're going to finish out our broadcasts with some updates and such. If you want to stay on, you're more than welcome to. Or if you got things you got to run to, then we will just say goodbye here. It's up to you.
Yep, I'm going to take off. I'm going to go to my office.
Okay.
In my home office.
Hit the road.
Yeah.
Isn't it great that we can these days?
Yes.
Yep.
Nice to be around people. All right. Well, so good to see you, Cyndee.
Love you.
All right. Love you, lady. Have a great day. Thank you.
Call me if I can help with anything. I'm here.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Cyndee.
All right. Bye, Cyndee.
It's always good to see you, Cyndee.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we've got a few quick updates and things going on this week that we just wanted to cover. So this week we have our weekly office meeting with John L. Scott at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. We also have looks like Forums Friday from 9:30 to 10:30. We're going to be covering the purchase and sale agreement, part 2 to the purchase and sale agreement, since it's a lot to cover in there. We also have our Friday Talent Report Market Update with Jurgen and Davina. So Jurgen and Davina is going to be dropping what's going on here in the area, along with our open houses that are coming up for the weekend, and also our new listings coming in.
Yeah, that title's getting longer. Next week it's going to be like 5 words. Which going to be like
it's going to be a paragraph. I'm going to have to
just going to be a big run-on sentence.
Right. And we got also lots of other good stuff coming up. Facebook Friday as well. So tune into our Facebook page. We bring in someone within the real estate industry that's dropping a little bit of knowledge, giving us value, and talking about what's going on in the real estate industry as well. So lots of great things coming your way. We're doing lots of great things here at John L. Scott. If you're a real estate broker and you are looking for a bit of a change, give us a call. We got lots of good stuff happening here. So we'd love to talk to you.
All right.
If you're a buyer or seller and you need someone to sell your home, help you find a home, we can help you out there as well. Give us a call.
That's a good commercial.
So guys,
yeah,
I think that's it.
Is that it?
We're ready to go.
It's Monday, ready to tackle another week.
Fun way to start the week. Just a conversation and just getting focused on the things that are important. And I think Cyndee's a great example of that, because so much of what she does, I mean, she may be in a kind of a form space or kind of maybe an analytical thing that she does as a job, but everything she does is based on relationship. And that's so in line with what we do as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess we'll go ahead and, I just got to give one more last shout out to Cyndee and give a little Shingledecker woo. I can't do it like she does it.
Oh, that sounded horrible, like a bird was dying.
It sounds like an old crow.
My throat when I do that there.
I can't get my pitch up quite that high.
Let me hear yours, Jurgen.
Ooh.
Who's killing that dog over there? Right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it felt like coming out too.
Steve, you got the Shingledecker woo, don't you?
No, I was like, mine's like woo woo.
Okay.
I'm nowhere near.
Christy, is it in you?
I can try. I can't do it like she does it though. Woo woo.
Okay. I know. We all failed. It's okay. All right. Who's taking us home?
Steve,
okay. Taking us home. All right, you guys. Ready for another week?
Road.
Oh my God. It's like never mind. All right, you guys. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bebo! All right. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to do this again Monday. Have a great week.
Great week.